Hello everyone, Reynor here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I wanted to go over Serral Clem, the last series they played. I thought it was very interesting. I also know who won, but I will not give any spoilers whatsoever. I think I will do like one game from Clem's perspective and one game from Serral's perspective. And we will analyze them a bit, give you some thoughts, why pro players do certain moves. So yeah, just a typical analysis that I've been doing on my channel. I thought this series was very interesting, so I wanted to go over it with you guys. So yeah, let's begin. Okay, this is just the early game, so there's not much to say. Clem, I play him a lot, obviously you guys know that. He likes to go for the Reaper. He's very good with the Reaper micro, definitely the best out there. And he likes to scout pretty much every game, so even though this is a long map, this is Ancient Cistern, by the way. Very good map for Zerg, I think the best one out there. Some people could make the argument that Altitude is better, but personally I prefer Ancient, just because the bases are closer and yeah, just the map is big. Altitude feels a bit weird because the maps are far away from each other, so they're a bit hard to defend. Still, nonetheless, a very good map for Zerg, given Altitude. So yeah, here we can see Clem going for that scout with the Reaper follow-up. She's gonna go CC. Clem personally likes playing benches a lot. Against me, he almost always plays benches. I think that's the opening he likes the most just because it's very solid. Yeah, just pretty safe and solid, and sometimes he can find damage as well. He has map pressure with the benches. Benches are very good to defend run-bys as well, so that's very important. Especially if you're someone as aggressive as Clem. You always want to have something that defends you against the run-bys. Now, Clem likes to YOLO his Hellions a lot, but most Terrans, whenever they don't go for benches, they rely a lot on tanks and Hellions to defend run-bys. But since Clem prefers to be a bit more aggressive with those Hellions, it's likely that he loses them most games. That obviously doesn't happen every game, but it does happen quite often. Let's see the Reaper micro. Liquid Clam, known for his Reaper micro. Second to none. Gets the link. Oh, Serral is triggered already, I can feel it. Okay, very good Reaper micro. Playing it safe, wants to step in the creep tumor. Clem is the most annoying against the first creep tumor. He just goes in and out. He knows how to do it. Serral playing very safe with the first creep tumor. You can see he put it back. We just put it back because we were afraid to get it sniped. Whenever you get your first creep tumor sniped, it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but mentally you're kind of defeated, you know? You're like, already a bad start, especially if you lose a link as well. You lose a link and then you lose the creep tumor. GG. That's not really GG, but mentally, kind of GG. So yeah, here we can see Clem went for second gas before starport. This almost always means benches when you go for 3 CCs. You can see how the second gas is finishing super fast. Now he's making a tech lab as well. I would be very surprised if this is not benches. Yeah, here we can see just a classic 3 CC opening. Yeah, this is definitely benches. Could be Raven as well, but Raven you don't see it too often these days. Some people like to mix it in. The problem with Raven is that you always have to be out in the map with Hellions, and you're very weak against run-bys. Usually the Terran wants to go for that 8 Hellion double benches setup. That's something they really like. I think personally even 10 Hellions is good. Almost no Terran does that, and we don't want to give them ideas, do we? Tech Lab on the racks means it's going to be bio. Clem known for his bio, even though lately he's been mixing some mech. I played against Clem. When I was practicing for Katowice when we were there, we played a little bit and we were spamming mech. Personally, didn't win a single game. It is what it is. Happens to the best of us, what can I say? Always active with the Hellions, snipes the creep tumor in and out. You can see how fast Clem is. It's very annoying to play in TVZ, especially because he's so fast. He's always active in the map with the Hellions, starts the steam, goes in with the Banshee. Very clean so far from Clem, hasn't lost anything. EBS in the back, just in case they were to die against run-bys or something. The fact that he stopped at 6 Hellions means that his Medivacs and his units are gonna be faster, because he has like more time on the factory to make a reactor, so his units are gonna be faster and his Medivacs are gonna be faster. Misposition the factory, happens to the best of us, honestly. But yeah, you can see how defensive he's playing with the benches. He's not really trying to get too much done. You can see he's just going in and out. Now he sees that there's no oversteer, so he's trying to pick off a queen. Most likely he won't be able to. Serral, very good transfuse out of him. Clem, we saw the tech lab on the factory. Most of the time it means that it's going to be a tank. 90% of the time, I would say. So yeah, typically whenever you go for tanks, at some point you want to go for a tank push. So we will see when he decides to go for a tank push. There's different variations of tank pushes. You can go with 2 tanks, you can go with 3 tanks, and all of these are different timings, obviously. He's building a nice wall around his third base. The thing about Clem in TVZ is that he always tries to be annoying with every single unit. I know he does this in other matchups as well. Here you can see he's moving out with the first tank, so it means he wants to be aggressive with this. He's probably gonna send the Hellions as well, because one tank and some Marines are not gonna do too much. Yeah, okay, I was wondering if you wanted to keep it home or not. But yeah, on this map there's a very annoying tank position under the 4th base in the minerals here. I'll show you. Here, if you put a tank, it's very annoying because it can shoot the high ground and obviously the 4th base. So yeah, it's just very annoying. You can see that he came back with the Banshees. As I said, they're a good tool to defend from run-bys. Because any kind of run-by that Zerg has cannot kill Banshees unless you send in like Muras or something. And that's unlikely to happen. Let's see. Liquid Clem, known for his micro. Wanna see some snipes on the base. So far very standard. He's making a 4th base as well. Oh, here we can see Serral is going for Muras. Snipes the tank but loses quite a bit. So I think ideally versus Muras you either want to go for a big push or you want to go straight into mines. I think it would be smart for Clem to now get his tanks and just go. Because he denied creep at the 4th base. Losing one medivac. Some Marines, not the biggest deal in the world, but still a little bit annoying. Yeah, as I said, one of the things you want to do against Muras is always you want to either put pressure or be sure that you have a good setup. And you would take no damage. So yeah, here Clem is moving out. He has tanks, he can move out. That's not a lot of Banes. If Clem plays well, I think he could very well win here. So you can see that Serral from the production tab, Serral is very far behind in upgrades. You probably wonder why. Well, when you go for Muras, you always want to prioritize Muras. And since Muras are very gas intensive, you have to delay the upgrades or something else like baning speed, but you never do that because you want to be safe against pushes. So ideally when you play Muras you always want to delay your upgrades a little bit, so this is completely normal. He did not forget about them. It's just something that you have to deal with whenever you play Muras. Personally I don't like Muras for this reason as well. So your upgrades are so delayed, and if Terran plays well they can hit with 2-2 before your 1-1 in a lot of scenarios. Those mine hits were godly. Clem putting in a lot of pressure. This is very hard as a Zerg, because you don't know how many Marines are behind those tanks, because you have no vision of the army, right? Yeah, fantastic trade from Clem here. Serral had to step off creep. Clem getting the 4th base up. So far it's looking fantastic. He's just pushing in. Serral has no banings. Sieges up those 3 mines all together. And now he repositions them. Classic Clem. Decent splits. Banings did a lot though. Yeah. So what happened this game? Well, first of all, Muras are not too good to deal with aggression early on. So you always want to get a good setup going when you play Muras. So you want to rush 80 drones and then start making units. Make sure you're safe, and then you can continue adding Muras. In this case, Serral made a lot of Muras. Clem obviously had some very good mine hits here. Damaged the Muras, killed some as well. So that's already very annoying. The other thing that you need to be careful of when you play Muras is always having good creep spread, because tank pushes like this are very hard to deal with unless you have creep. So the moment you have creep here and let's say goes to here, then the tank push takes very long to arrive to your base, because then they have to take out creep, they have to wait until it disappears, and you get more time. But in this case, Serral really didn't have that much creep spread around this side of the map, and Clem abused that with some very good control and tank positioning. Also good follow-up. He had the 4th base ready, ahead in upgrades. You can see that Serral's 1-1 is not over yet, and Clem's +2 is done. Should be +2 armor as well, but I think he slightly forgot about it. Happens to a lot of Terrans actually. So this is why I don't really enjoy playing Muras, especially against someone like Clem. Because when you're in control of the game, Muras feels nice, but when you're on the defensive side of things and you play Muras, then I think you're just straight up losing if Terran plays well. But yeah, this is why you don't see Muras too often nowadays. You can see that in most pro games, Zergs always opt for those Hydras or just Linkbane, Vipers as well. It's just way safer, and you have more room for mistakes as well. Once you lose all your Muras, for example, you're just straight up dead. But yeah, nice game won by Clem. Very good control. Just very standard ZVT over here. Clem just doing what he does best. Sniping some Banes, splitting a little bit, being annoying. Yeah, just very clean overall. I liked it. Okay, guys, this is gonna be game 2 of Serral vs Clem. Map is Babylon. Obviously, Clem's map pick, shorter map overall. Just nice for Terran, not many bases to take. It is quite open, but the fact that it's short helps the Terran a lot. Early game is also quite nice for Terran. You can see that the base is the 5th base. Doesn't matter how you expand it, but the 5th base is always going to be hard to take. That helps Terran a lot. So yeah, very good map overall for Terran. Solid Clem's map pick for a reason. This game we're going to be following Serral's POV. See what's up with him, what he's gonna opt for. 17 pool, wow. The reason I say wow is because this is a weird choice by him. Because as we mentioned last game, Clem always likes to go for that SCV Scout plus Reaper. 99% of the games he does that, so it's very hard to catch him off guard. Actually, I don't know why Serral does this. The only reason I could see is to be safer versus that Reaper. He doesn't want to deal with that Reaper. But I don't know. He could also have some sort of roach pressure follow-up. I don't really know why he would go for this. The fact that he's going for a fast gas probably means that he has some sort of roach follow-up. I'm not really sure. I'm not a big fan of 17 pool personally. I'd rather do 16 pool or 16 pool with 6 links or 17-17. So like 17 gas and 17 pool. Then you have link speed faster. This is kind of an in-between variation. He makes only 2 links, so he's just playing it safe. Doesn't want to really do any damage. Could also be to put some fear in Clem, because he's going to scout. He's going to see that it's 17 pool or 16 pool, and he's probably going to wonder why, what the follow-up could be. So yeah, here he confirms his pool first. Serral chasing the SCV a little bit. He has to go back because the Reaper is coming now. So yeah, you can see that he's trying to deny scout from Clem. So yeah, this is probably just to mess with Clem a little bit, to get into his head a little bit. Reaper is gonna come. Serral is gonna take the SCV, but it's most likely gonna lose the link. Yeah, okay, Clem is chasing the link with the Reaper. He's gonna lose the link. It's not a big deal. He got the SCV, which is good. Clem is losing a little bit of vision. He has no more vision on the map other than the Reaper, which is okay. He's gonna see the 3rd base and he knows it's gonna be safe. But yeah, Serral overall very standard and safe opening out of him. We know how Yona plays at this point. Personally, a big fan. Overlord position very good. Marines can't shoot it. Clem probably doesn't even know that it's there, so he's definitely gonna scout what he's up to. But as I said, Clem really loves the Banshee opening, so I wouldn't be surprised if Clem goes for it again. Also, because this map is very short and Banshees are the safest option Terran has. You don't want to get caught by any kind of roach pressure or anything like that. So if you want to be safe, guys, always go for those Banshees. Even 3cc Banshee is super safe. Doesn't really die to anything. The only counter to it would be a Nidus in the main. But obviously it's a bit of a gamble, because if the Nidus goes up and Terran has vision, he can just shoot it with 2 Marines and it's going to die. Pretty much. So yeah, it's a bit of a gamble opening. It's not really a reliable counter to Banshees. There's no real reliable counter to Banshees for Zerg, if you want to kill the Terran, I mean. So you kind of have to deal with it. Serral going in at the 4th minute mark. It's perfect. You can see everything that's going on. Even the cloak should have started by now, if it is that Banshee opening. Factory flying, I did not... Should I click on this? Doesn't matter. I think it's a starport. The reason why I say I think it's a starport is because from the looks of it, or looks of things, it looks like Clem went for 4 Hellions into 2-1-1 with 3 CCs. It's quite a common opening. You guys have to know that there's 2 variations of this opening, the 3 CC 2-1-1. There's the 2 Hellion one that hits around 525. And there's the 4 Hellion one that hits around 540. You have to be a little bit careful about the 4 Hellion one, because sometimes they like to mix in those Hellbats. They don't really do it when they go for the 2 Hellion opening, because the Marines are faster and they only have 2 Hellions. But sometimes they like to push with like 60 Marines and 5 Hellbats. It's pretty all-in, but if you don't have Banelings, you're just straight up dead in most scenarios. This Terran is going to show up 60 Marines, 5-6 Hellbats. If you don't have Banelings, GG. But yeah, from the look of things, looks like that's what Clem is going for, just by looking at from Yona's perspective. Obviously, Serral knows that as well. We're probably gonna see him stop droning around now. He's probably making some links. I don't know if I should keep the production tab on and off. Maybe you guys can let me know under the comments for next time. For now, I'll keep it off, just so I can straight up analyze everything from his perspective. So personally, Clem played this build a lot against me, and what he likes to do is most of the time he goes for a tank push after this. I think Serral knows that, so you can see that he's stopping at 5 gases, The reason why he stopped playing 5 casts is because you don't really want to tech up 2 Hydras instantly if you're actually playing against the tank push. You kind of want to make units just to deal with that, and then you can tech into something else. It looks like Serral is going for Infestation Pit. That looked like an Infestation Pit. I think it makes sense. If you go for 5 gases, I think Infestation Pit is a solid choice. I'm a little bit scared for him because he has no vision on his main base. Like, he has vision on his main base, but he doesn't see if a drop decides to go there. And he has no units in the main base. So he has to be a tiny bit careful about that. Clem snipes the bailing. Liquid Clam strikes again. Yes, overall Serral is playing it very safe. He probably stopped around 74 drones. A little bit more maybe. He just wants to make sure he doesn't die. As I said, we know that Clem likes that tank push follow-up, so this is the reason why Serral is going for so many units. If Clem went straight into mines, this would not be ideal for him, for Serral, because against mines you wanna, since you trade a lot, you wanna be higher drone count usually. Yeah, this definitely looks like a tank push, yeah. As expected, we see the tank push from Clem. Serral setting up a beautiful run by surround. Looks like Clem is leaving, which I think is a smart choice, because I think he would have gotten crashed. Yeah, let's see this fight. I think Clem stands no chance in this fight. He only has 1 tank and Serral already has a surround. Goes in with the queens first, so they tank most of the damage. It is not a big deal, he's just gonna lose the tank. Can pick up everything else. Serral, a little bit of mistake, he blows up the bailings on the tank. When the tank was pretty much already dead. So one thing I like to do when I go for this hive, I like to get a couple of Vipers just to deal with the Medivacs, since you have no anti-air, you have no Hydras, nothing. So getting those Vipers out, it's very nice to deal with the Medivacs flying in and out just like this. Clem knows that Serral is going for the Link Bane, so he knows he's free to just drop in and out as long as he wants. He's even going to the main base. Serral out of position in the bottom. He's sending units now, but it might be a little bit too late. Oh, very good push from Clem here. Oh, there's a chance that Serral just straight up dies here. I think he has to send it. You don't want to lose this base. A little bit YOLO from Clem, because if Serral was on position and he sees those tanks, that would be very bad for him, because he would just lose the tanks for free. But Clem is kind of outplaying Serral at this point. I don't think he expected a push on the bottom. Queens are tanky, but they deal no damage. You can see not even 1 marine died. So Terran can keep going for all day. I wouldn't be surprised if Serral now queues 3 Vipers. As I said, just to deal with those Medivacs, it's nice. Gets the adrenal glands going. Very important upgrade when you play Link Bane. Just very important upgrade overall. Clem transitioned into mines, which is no bueno when you're playing this style. You always want to have like Hydras or something else to deal with the mines. And Serral has nothing. And he is also not transitioning to anything. Good trade there from Serral actually. He has to be careful. There's a chance that he just straight up dies here. Clem's control is very scary. Like, if this was another Terran, I would say he's no danger of dying here. But Clem can randomly snipe like 10 bailings and you're just dead. He does that very often. It happens quite a lot. More than I wish. I've lost countless fights against Clem. That would be one against any other Terran. Look, he sniped like 4 bailings right here. Now he's gonna go back with the Medivacs. He's gonna go back in, snipe those 3 banes. And you're out of units in the bottom suddenly. The problem about this game is that Serral is on a low drone count. 80 drones, it's nice and all, but 80 drones would be better if you had the Hydras. When you go for Link Bane and you know you're playing against mines, you ideally want to be like 90 plus, because you know you're going to be trading a lot. Link Bane is not very good at just straight up killing armies. Clem moving in bottom with the mines. Now it's all about those mine connections. Even if one very good mine hits, the game is pretty much over. Oh, no. Boom. Okay, very good control over Serral. He has to be careful. This is not a pretty game for him. He hasn't been on the other side of the map at all. Very good splits from Serral. So yeah, this is kind of the problem when you play Link Bane. Like you can get a good surround and they can just pick up and leave. If you had Hydras, that would be a bit more difficult because you could kill maybe a couple of Medivacs. You just have more pressure with Hydras. Not saying that Link Bane is bad, but it obviously has its strengths and weaknesses. I wish Serral would drone up a little bit now. I know it's very hard to do when you're under this much pressure, but he really needs some more drones. And yeah, there we go. He queues up 6 drones. I'll take out the production tab again. I don't know. Do I like it? Do I not? I don't know. The Cyclone there for banter. the French cyclone, known all across the world. Very scary sight. Man, this is a good position for Clem. Clem very good at splitting the medivacs against parabombs as well. This is nice and all, like the fights aren't that bad for Serral, but he hasn't been on the other side of the map at all. So he either cleans up everything right here, right now, or this is a very hard game. Good counter attack here actually. I like it. Good mind splits. There's nothing to deal with the libs. He has the screens. Okay, very good counter attack. Abducts. Giga Chad. Didn't even need to. Just flexing. 16 SCVs go down. Once again, very nice and all. Oh, big mine. Very nice and all, but Serral needs a higher drone count if he wants to keep this up. Or lurkers or something. It's very hard to do this kind of stuff against Clem, like transitioning when you're under this much pressure. Okay, he's getting Hydras now. I do think that a few more drones wouldn't hurt. More drones good for the soul, everyone knows that. Good is already in position here, deals with the mines. Clem wants to go in the main base with those medivacs. Now he sees Hydras out. Most likely he's gonna go for a Ghost Academy. But I don't know even if he needs to. Serral is always first to fight off creep. He's doing very well. Like the fights are very good actually. But you can see Clem is kind of free on the map. Like he has 5 bases, I guess. And you see a sensor tower pop up in a base you wish wasn't up. You know it's doomed. But it's not really doomed. He still has a chance. I think Infestors, yeah, he's making Infestor here. Infestors are always good for as a comeback mechanic. They work very nicely. If you get a good Fangol off, you can turn the game around a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Clem has Ghost now. Because he saw those Hydras. It's a natural reaction to make Ghost. Ghosts are pretty much good versus everything anyways. So if you can, might as well make them. Man, these splits from Serral against mines are very hot. Like very, very good. We don't have enough. Is this where the game falls apart? Yeah. Ooh, big bailing hit. Yeah, this is kind of where the game falls apart. You can see that he cannot keep up with the supply. Clem trading very well. Serral doesn't have enough here. Yeah. Everything fell apart. This is what I was mentioning. He's a little bit too low on the drone count. You cannot keep trading like this. You either need a big cleanup or you need something. You need higher drone count if you want to play like this, I think. But yeah, now Clem pretty much has the game on lockdown. I even saw a Ghost. When you see Ghost and you're dead as Zerg, you feel even worse, you know, like if there was a chance, maybe lurkers or something. Now the chance is gone. Ooh, that was sexy. That was absolutely sexy from Clem. Steps in, no fear at all. Yeah, Serral is just shipping it now. He's like, he knows he's kind of out of the game. So he's hoping for something, but trading into a planetary when you're this low in supply always feels very bad. The planetary gets hits for free. You cannot replace those units. Ghost. Oh, my hits were also good. But yeah, when you see this much Ghost and you're not even maxed out, you know, the game is pretty much over. Well, no much else to say. I think both played very good. Serral got a few bad fights that kind of lost him the game by going for this style. Like, if you want to go for this style, I think you gotta crash the fights. Or, as I said before, have higher drone count. In this game, he did neither. Also, another thing that you can do when you go for this style, since you have a lot of units, you can just run by a lot. And since Serral was under so much pressure, he couldn't. But Clem is one of the only ones that can do that. Like, he can put so much pressure on you that you're forced to defend constantly, even in an even game. Like, sometimes it happens that Terrans put so much pressure, like when they're so far ahead, they can just keep putting pressure. But Clem, this game, nothing really happened. It was a pretty even game, and Clem just put on pressure from the start to finish. Very, very good. Very good from both. I liked it. Here we have game 3 of Serral Clem, Dragon Scales. I think this was Serral's map pick, which is understandable. Honestly, I disliked Dragon Scale at the beginning of the map pool release, but nowadays I kind of like it. It's very open. Link Bane is good on this map, and something that Serral seems to like lately I've seen him go a lot for roaches and link bane only. He's not a big fan of the hydras anymore. Understandable, honestly, I do the same. But yeah, we're gonna follow this game from Clem's perspective. See what's up with the kid. Not much to say early game, obviously. We can skip ahead a little bit. But yeah, once again, Clem is just the kind of guy that likes to play very standard in TVZ. He doesn't really do anything crazy. He doesn't really like to proxy racks. He doesn't really like to play CC first. He just plays solid, standard. A little bit YOLO sometimes, but that's part of his gameplay. You can see he's gonna SV scout like every other game we saw so far. Reaper follow up as well. One of the key details that you need to look at in the early game, if you can, is knowing if the Terran has a second gas. It's very important because by the second gas you can tell if it's 3cc or not. Usually the Terran players put down the second gas right after the factory, so if the second gas doesn't go up right after the factory, then you can know it's CC first. It's a 3cc. So let's see, if now there's a reactor and second gas, then we know it's 2cc. If there's no second gas like it is now, no second gas, we know that it's going to be 3cc already. So somehow as a Zerg, if you can figure that out, you already know what it is. Gets the link. Liquid Clam strikes again. Goes back. Always tries to be cheeky. Cheeky with Reaper, even if there's a ramp, he always tries to get the creep tumor somehow. Sometimes he gets it and it's a little bit embarrassing. But it does happen to the best of us. It does happen to me quite a bit actually, because I'm greedy with the first creep tumor. It's like a mental thing. You never want to give up the advantage, you know. Like knowing that I have to put my creep a little bit back because it could snipe it is already a mental loss for me. So I go full key Chad at the front, no fear, and then a lot of the time I just lose it. Yeah, second gas again before Hellions. It looks like it's gonna be those benches again. Tech Lab is gonna go down now. Yeah, there it is. It's gonna send the aliens across. It's gonna make a Banshee and then Cloak. We know this already. It's a very standard game so far. Clem tries to be annoying with the aliens, tries to snipe some creep tumors if he can. Ideally, you want to snipe creep tumors, but not always you're allowed to. The Zerg plays well around the cooldowns of the creep tumors. Like something I like to do is, for example, I see the aliens going here and I insta-queue the creep tumors on the other side. So it's very hard for the Terran to snipe them. He's gonna go for a Tech Lab here. Yeah, you can see it. Tech Lab means it's gonna be bio 100% of the time, unless it's something cheeky. But as we said, Clem doesn't really like to be cheeky. Serral is playing very far back with the queens. He's scared of something. Now he just confirms it's benches, so he shouldn't really be scared of anything really. Okay, queens are back at the front. You can see now he's positioning himself aggressively with the queens in a way that the Hellions don't really get to see much, and they also cannot deny the creep tumors. Oh no, we got spoiled. Apparently there's a Nidus worm going down in the main base, guys. Obviously you cannot tell this from a Terran point of view. Serral is doing a fantastic job at hiding it. Everything looks very normal, honestly. I wouldn't be able to tell it. This is pretty much game over. As I said, the first game, if you wanna blind counter the benches, you can go for a Nidus, but it's not really a reliable counter, because if Clem saw it, then he could just deny it and the game would be over. So it's a gamble that it can work. If the Terran has no vision. Oh, Banshee dies. I mean, Clem is full panic mode. I don't think he can do much about it. Second Banshee goes down as well. Yeah, Clem is panic mode. Happens to the best of us. There's not much he could do there, honestly. Okay, guys, here we have game 4 between Serral and Clem. After last game, I expect something a little bit better. That was just unfortunate for Clem. He didn't see it. Obviously, greatly planned by Serral. It means that he studied his opponent, knows that he has no vision on that map, and just went for it. Very good execution. We saw Clem's POV and we had no idea what was happening. I did say that the queens were moving a little bit back, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah, greatly executed by Serral. He gave no tips at all that he was coming. Now we're playing on Gresvan. Gresvan is a weird map, because it's good for early game as a Zerg. It's nice early to mid, but it's very bad in late game. So you gotta adjust yourself a little bit. As the Terran can camp easily on this map. I think I mentioned this before, but it's very easy for Terran to camp because they can secure that forward base, this one. So once they secure this one, they can put tanks here and here, and they have a free fifth base. Some Terrans don't even put a planetary here. You can just put an orbital because they're so safe. This one is also kind of easy to take. Just push the tanks a little bit forward. So yeah, it's a strange map, honestly. I don't mind it until the ghosts come out. The ghosts come out, don't like it. Wouldn't want to be on Tesman when the ghosts come out. But yeah, these two are two of the most standard players in this matchup. I consider myself pretty standard in ZVT as well, but sometimes I like to mix it in a little bit. I might do something a little bit crazy. But yeah, these two are pretty standard. Clem did not go for his SV Scout. When Clem doesn't go for his SV Scout, something is up. Very rarely something is up, but most of the time it's gonna be CC first. Yeah, we can pretty much assume that it's gonna be CC first here, since Clem did not scout. You cannot do this against every Terran, by the way, in every Terran's case. I'm just assuming because I know Clem very well. I've played thousands of games against him. Well, not that. Well, I don't know. Well, hundreds of games against him. And I know perfectly how he plays at this point. If Clem doesn't go for that SV Scout, something is up. Could also be like a proxy starport or something. But yeah, Serral is checking, you can see. Sending a link, he knows. Clem's keeping the Reaper and the SV Scout. But yeah, here he just wants to confirm that it's CC first. I'm pretty sure Serral has a good idea of what's going on. Here we go in with the link, CC done. We can assume that it's either, we can probably assume that it's Reactor first. I don't know the timing exactly if the 2 Marines would be out now, but I think it makes sense. Because back in we should see 4 Marines now if it is that Reactor first. Still 2 Marines. Could also be that it wasn't Reactor and just made 2 Marines out of the racks. But I'm not sure, honestly. I cannot tell from Serral's point of view. Patrolling the links just in case. Sometimes Terrans like to do this. They skip Aliens and they still go for a Banshee. If you get caught off guard, it can be very annoying. You can lose a lot of drones. Can be potentially game ending as well. And we know Serral doesn't take any risks. So he's sending the links to patrol. Make sure he doesn't miss anything. You can see he has 1 link at the front. Overlord going in the main. Links patrolling around the sides. So nothing is really missing from the scouting perspective. He's also playing safe with the queens. He's a lot of queens all at the front, all together, just in case it's something. Here we go in with the Overlord. We should get confirmation because Clem was a bit out of position. Here we confirm that it's mech out of Clem. Serral likes to go for that Roach Warren and Roaches against mech. We did have a chat a little bit in Katowice between the Cabal members. We were a bit clueless on the Cyclones during Katowice. There's no one really expected to be the Cyclones so strong, but they are pretty strong. You know, if Clem is playing mech, it means that it's good. Clem is not a big fan of the mech style, but he's going for it, so he believes. I remember, as I said, I was practicing with Clem a little bit. Serral is gonna split those queens, make sure he can get the creep spread going. But here we don't really need to check anything else. Serral is just checking, because he loves to check. Yeah, here we see a Cyclone. Yeah, it's just making sure, you know, double check. We love to see it. Don't want to get caught off guard by some double factory into bio shenanigans. Okay, I don't know why he cancelled that Evo, because he made it after he saw the Cyclone, right? I don't know. Maybe he didn't actually see it? No, he saw it. He was watching his point of view. Okay. Maybe he just changed his mind. Happens to change the mind. I want to see how he deals with this, because everyone has their own different response. I know Serral likes infestors. Yeah, Link's getting caught. This is pretty bad. You lose all map control now. Serral is also stuck on 66 drones, which is no bueno. Does he want to go for a timing? What's that? Nidus? Nidus would actually be kind of smart, because he knows Clem has no vision in main. Borrow. Okay, interesting. I wonder why he's stuck on 66 drones. I guess he just wants to make sure he doesn't die. Nowadays it's easier to die against the Cyclones, because last patch Cyclones were very bad against Queens. Now they're very good. It happens that your Queens just get melted and you have nothing, because you're not really used to it. Like Cyclones couldn't really kill you before during the last patch. Okay, it's an infestation pit. So he's just playing Omega safe. A little bit too safe maybe for my taste. Oh, that's unlucky, saw it. Clem going in for a run by. Yeah, Serral just seems like he wants to play a macro game. Yeah, now he's adding drones. I don't know, I wouldn't have minded if he went for drones faster, but it's obviously Yona style. We just let him play here. Just admire. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a hive now. 7 gases. Does he want to go for a timing? No hive. Nidus. Okay, so yeah, here you can see that he's going for Swarmost. Personally, I don't love this, but I think you can only do this if there's no Banshees, and Clem opened double factory, no starport, so he knows there's no Banshees. Serral is very low on the drone count, which I don't love personally, because Cyclones are not the usual mech. You trade a lot against Cyclones. Oh, you know why he cancelled? He cancelled because Clem was going in with the Hellions, and he didn't want to make him spot the Swarmost. Very sick. I'm a fan. I'm curious to see how many Swarmost he actually has. Oh man, Nidus in the main actually would have been very good, I think, here. Oh, Clem is in position. He's gonna deny the Nidus as well. Did he see it? I don't think he saw it. Infestors? Oh, good Fangle. Very good Fangle. Oh no, the second Fangle was a little bit late. Pretty sure he could have killed everything there. Oh yeah, Clem denies the first Nidus as well, which is very annoying when you play this style. The first wave always wants to do damage, because then you get the momentum on your side. But now Clem got all the momentum back. He's defending the run by, and at the same time he's attacking. Typical Clem. 7 on gas. More efficient. Oh man. Yeah, we're losing a lot. You can see why I mentioned the higher drone count, because we're pretty much trading constantly versus this style. There's no real way of not trading in Cyclones, because they can just go in and out, just like this, you know? They can always be aggressive, so I wouldn't mind a higher drone count. I think he's adding some drones now. It might be a little bit too late. The Swarmers didn't really do much. And as I said, when you play Swarmers, you always want to have momentum on your side. Clem, by the way, has to be on very high SCV count, because his army is not very good, but you can see that it's basically maxed out. This is definitely not a position I would like to be in if I was Serral. You have no hive, only Swarmers against Cyclones. Yeah, Swarmers are even worse nowadays against Cyclones. You can see they didn't even kill anything yet. I think he remade the Infestors. You kind of have to. So otherwise the Cyclones can really trade forever. Personally, what I like to do these days is have a lot of Link Bane. So if they step too far forward on creep, you can do something about it. In this case, I feel like he missed out. Oh, he said for suit 2 Cyclones. Okay, you can see that he borrows and borrows to unlock the roaches from the Cyclones. Serral is stuck on 4 bases. This is really not a fun position to be in. He either gets a massive Fangle or he gets some damage only with the Swarmos now. Oh man, it's only like, what, 7 Swarmos? They're not gonna achieve anything, aren't they? They're just here to be annoying. Yeah, I would be surprised if he actually gets any damage done. Kill 3 aliens. I mean, that's not a big deal. I don't know why I made it sound like it was a big deal. Kill 3 aliens, oh my god. Yeah, the fact that he's still on 4 bases is kind of killing him. His army composition is also garbage. I think the only way to play it from here would be to maybe go Lurkers or Broodlords and camp to late game. I don't know. It's a rough position, honestly. But if Clem from now on only makes Ghost and tanks, it's just doomed. Very doomed. Oh, big surround. Clem is just standing his ground. He's not even going back. Absolute giga chat. I mean, this trade was very good for Serral. Clem lost a lot because he was just standing his ground. Man, imagine if he had higher drone count. Ooh, clean. I like that. I like that. Serral has no more infestors. He has to be really careful now. He left one roach borrow for the vision for the Nidus. Very interesting. Oh, Clem is patrolling a cyclone. This is quite the game. The high level. I like it. Clem's still making cyclones. Clem has to be a little bit careful because he's trading a little bit recklessly. Like he could have just carried much better, and instead he was just standing his ground a lot. Sometimes being a Giga Chat is a little bit of a mistake. Oh, the Swarmos. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Serral plays from here. Because he has a lot of roaches, and roaches are kind of useless. I like that he's adding Bailings. I would have preferred to see Broodlords, honestly, but it's working towards it. I understand the decision of making Bailings. Just kind of want to be safe. Make sure you don't die. Because in this case, if the Infestors die, then the Cyclones are, completely free on the map. I think the reason why Clem is not moving out in the map as much anymore is because he's transitioning to Ghost, which is a very smart idea if he actually is. Because you know that from now on, whatever Zerg makes gets countered by Ghost. If it is Broodlords, if it is Lurkers, if it is anything, from now on it gets countered by Ghost. It looks like Clem is trading out the Cyclone. Oh my god, Serral lost the Infestors again. Yeah, he's not even remaking them. We kind of have to lose those Swarmos at some point. They're dead supply. They achieved absolutely nothing in this game. Yeah, he has to respread his creep. He wants to get some map control. He probably knows Clem's transitioning as well. He does have a lot of... Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, that was risky. He does have a lot of Cyclones still. But honestly, I expect him to have some Ghost now. I think Serral wants to trade out these roaches a little bit as well. Very good fight from him. I think Clem is also trying to trade out the Cyclones. But I don't know, he could be making more. It's very hard to tell from this point of view. Looks like he has a lot of Cyclones, honestly. Yeah, there they are. The ghost. Scary unit. Was that 2 infestors? I think Serral will making infestors. As soon as his ghost is kind of smart. I don't know. So like the problem here is that maybe the game doesn't look too bad looking at it, like from this point of view, but it's really bad because Serral is stuck on a very basic army. Clem already transitioned to the highest level of army you can have, which is mech and ghost. So he has both things out, and Serral is stuck on Swarmos, Ravager, Lingbane. And if you want to play this kind of style, it's doable. A lot of people do it against mech, me included, but you gotta have a bank, because the way you play it is you keep trading, because you will never win a straight up fight with this kind of army against Clem's army. So you want to keep trading, keep trading, keep trading. In order to do that, you need a bank and a lot more workers than what Serral has right now. So yeah, this is kind of the problem about this game. If you had higher tech units, then you could kind of hope like in a comeback through army control or whatever. Or like this, I would say he's pretty much doomed. But yeah, let's keep watching. Sorry for the interruption. Gave you a fast explanation why things look bad. So we might be looking at this and you're like, the supplies are even, the turn has no bank. But that doesn't really tell the whole story here. You gotta remember that Clem has a lot of, Serral has a lot of dead supply as well. The Swarmers are like completely useless right now. Like they wouldn't be completely useless if they were in higher numbers. I think they could still achieve something. But the fact that it's only like what, 6 Swarmers right now, it's... Yeah, Clem sniping the base. Oh, doesn't get it. This position seems very hard to deal with. Yeah, Clem's trading a lot. Killed a lot of workers as well on the other side of the map. Hellbat Rambais are so annoying to deal with. Okay, it doesn't look like Clem has a lot here, which means he's probably on a very high drone SV count. I don't know the numbers, but it must be above 80. Let's see, 84, yeah. Boom. Good. Solid. You can see that Serral is trying everything he can. He knows the state of the game, obviously. He knows that he's not in a good spot. And he has to come up with something. I wouldn't mind if he goes for a few infestors here. Personally, I like... Whenever I'm behind, I like Ravagers. Because you can get like some buys off. I don't know. But in this case, it's kind of rough even to go Ravagers. Ghost counter Ravagers. They one tap them with the snipe. So it's not fun. Clem has a Marauder for banter as well. Mine, boom. Oh, yeah, it ain't looking pretty, guys. It ain't looking pretty. Even if, like, Clem might have that base in bottom left as well. That'd be rough. Bottom right, sorry. Okay, he doesn't, which is a slight good news, I would guess. But yeah, here, probably gonna see the last fight of the game because Serral has to defend this base and Clem has no intention of letting him have this base. Clem has the superior army as well. Oh, many Ravagers, I like it. Yeah, not much to do here. Boom, boom, boom. Pew, 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 pew. Snipe. Yeah, Serral is dead. Very nice game, honestly. I was a bit surprised, mostly by the low drone count. But I guess if he had in mind to go Swarmos all along, it would make sense. Because when you go Swarmos, you want to be on low drone count. Personally, I am not a huge believer in Swarmos against Cyclones. As I said, you trade a lot, and you want to have a higher drone count for that. I don't know, maybe Serral knows something we don't. But since he lost, we'll assume he doesn't know anything, just like us. Fantastic. But yeah, nice game.